everybody. Welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. I have my faithful companion over here, Nando, in the house. He's got a cool.
I'm back.
How many hats do you have, bro?
This is the same hat. It's just I flipped it. It was flipped like this.
Oh,
before.
okay.
And I just like flipped it.
Well, welcome back, everybody. It's an interesting fight card this week. In fact, I was just informed with some stuff I did not know by Nando, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about it. Nando, there's a lot of Asian fighters on this card. Tell us about it. What's going on?
Well, this fight was originally not supposed to have Lewis and Spivak, but this fight was originally supposed to be in Singapore. So majority of these fighters are all Asian or Eastern India, and this fight card, the prelims is a road to UFC. It's this show that's on UFC Fight Pass. I don't have it. I was gonna get it this Christmas, but so basically they're trying to get more Asian fighters, more people from India, more people. They're trying to build the name. So they had a tournament. It started in. I'm trying to think. Where was the first one? They had one no, that's the second one. Oh, it's Road to UFC Singapore, and then they took the fighters to Road to UFC Abu Dhabi. So the prelims is the finals of the flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, and lightweight fighters, and these guys are really, really good. This is like a throwback to Pride. A lot of these fighters.
So these are super important fights for these fighters. Again, I do not recognize. I recognize a few of them, but most of them I do not. So I'm glad that you got that background on there, Nando, because as we say, it's really important. But this is super important for UFC Global International, right? Because they're trying to spread the sport all around the world. And they're making good on their promises. They're going to, like you said, India. I had no idea they were getting fighters from India and so forth. That's pretty cool, man. I can dig that.
And they decided to get a lot of these fighters are smaller fighters from Asia. So these are all the smaller weight classes.
All right, well, let's begin. We're going to start at the very bottom, and we've got Tetsuro Tira versus Jesus Aguilar for a flyweight belt. What you got on these guys?
Okay, Tetsura's 12-0, second in the UFC. Jesus Santos Aguilar is 26, 8-1, 8-fight winning streak. He's a Dana White Contender Series.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay,
and next up we have Jung Young Park versus Dennis Tululian. And that's a middleweight bout.
Yeah, Park is 31. Park is 31. He's 15-5. He's 4-5. 2-fight winning streak. He lost to RoboCop. Dennis Tululian is 34, 10-6, 3-5 last win. So the next one is Yeon Kim, 33, 9-6, 1-5. Syndicate MMA. She's on a 4-fight winning streak. All are decisions. Mandy Bond is 33. She's 7-2, 3-5. She's from Connor's camp, and she's also on a 2-fight losing streak.
Okay, and I've seen both of those fighters fight before. That should be a good scrap. Next up, we have Jung Kook Choi versus Hang Sung Park.
Okay, now this is the flyweight final. It's 6-1. He's a 5-fight winning streak. Korean Zombie MMA. He was Abu Dhabi. They're all the Abu Dhabi. What is it? Semifinals. He has a better karate style than Hyun Park. He's 27, 7-0 debut. But Hyun Park is going to try to pressure him. And most of his fights were in ring that I saw. So I don't know if that changes anything for him. He had 2 fights in the cage, and that's something a lot of people think is like the fourth man. You know what I mean? It basically is a lot different than. So I'm gonna go with Choi on this one because he has a Korean zombie style. He has the kicks. He goes in and out. He has good head movement.
I'm just looking at his height. He's a little bit shorter, got a shorter reach. He's shorter all the way around, but that should be interesting. Okay. Next up, we have Toshiomi Kazama versus Rinya Nakamura.
Okay, Tashimi is 10-2. He's 4-5. He has a win. He likes to pressure his opponent. He likes to use the cage. He likes to use the cage. Renu Nakamura is 27. He's 6-0. He has a better stand-up. He's gonna try to keep this away from the cage. He's gonna try to just be, he's not gonna try to let the other guy take him down. The other guy has a better grappling style from what I see. But a lot of these fights, I'm gonna have to tell you, is I can only really see the fights. I can't get a lot of information because there's not a lot of information on them yet. They're trying to build their name.
All right. The next one's going to be a fun one to try and pronounce. Jin Yong Lee versus Yi Jia.
Good. Lee's 9-1, 6-fight winning streak. He has great armbar, great counters. He has like a Carl Uno kind of style where he berserks the person and then he tries to get him in moves. Yi is 26, 23-1, and he specializes in leg locks, which I think is going to be very interesting because, when you do leg locks, they say a lot of times it doesn't translate into MMA because you leave your head wide open. I mean, you have both of your hands on someone's leg and your face is completely until you can turn. I mean, it's not the greatest, but on this one, I'm going to go with Lee because he looks like he has a better stand-up style and he has great counters.
Okay. And I'm not picking
So
anybody.
on to the final lightweight.
All right. Next
final
up.
lightweight. This is going to be a great.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Next up, we have the Jika Saragi versus Anshul Jubli.
Okay, Jika is 13-2, five win streak, Abu Dhabi. This guy is a guy you're gonna want to see. Out of all of them, this is like the main event of the prelims. This guy has spinning back fist. He has like this. He was in a fight. The guy put him in guard. He started rampage slamming him, just picking him up and slamming him, picking him up and slamming him. This guy is going to be something interesting to see. The Jubilee is Tiger Muay Thai. He has great standing. He has a Dutch style kickboxing. He's 6-0. This guy is one of the fighters that's from India. I think his name was like the Prince of India or something. So this guy's going to be very interesting. He doesn't have as much experience as the other guy. So I'm going to go with Jinka, but I think this is going to be probably a fight that a lot of people are going to be talking about.
So is Jika coming from also a Muay Thai background or kickboxing background?
He has a Muay Thai background, but he has like a lot of grappling. He's kind of like I said, like a pride fighter. He has like kind of that, like that Japanese wrestling, which is not translates into like American wrestling. It's more of like kind of like a grapple, kind of like similar to sambo, but not sambo.
Really?
You know what I mean?
See, that's unusual.
Like when we talk to the. Well, it's like it's just not like collegiate wrestling. It's more like when we talk to Kirsten, it's more of like a freestyle, like tosses and throws, opposed to like, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, not sambo, more judo, I would have to say.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, now we're up to the main card, and it's a pretty good card. I like the matchups here. We've got for first bout of the main card, we have Yasuka Kinoshita versus Adam Fugit.
Mm. So Yusuke's 22, 6-1, 4-5. He has 2 wins. This is his debut. He was on the Contender Series, and if you remember, he knocked that guy out. Like he had that great punch, and they're planning on, you know, building him to something good. Adam Fugit is 34. He's 8-3, 4-5 last loss. His second fight in the UFC. He's from Art of War, which is a promotion. He's long and lanky. He has great grappling. So this is going to be interesting because they're trying to build both of these guys. These are Dana White Contender Series, and even though they're going to do the tough again with maybe Connor, I think the Contender Series is bringing out a lot of good fighters. We just had the first Contender champion with Jamal Hill, so it's going to be, I think it's a better way for them to showcase fighters.
Okay. It looks like Adam Fugit has gosh, about a 5.5 inch reach on this dude. So that's
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty big. Everything else is almost identical. Next up, we have Duho Choi versus Kyle Nelson. Now, Duho Choi was like an up and comer back in the day. I mean, he was like the golden boy from South Korea, man. He looked good. He fought well. Then he came up against some rough times. And if I remember correctly, he also had to commit, I can't remember if it was 2 or 4 years to the military.
Oh,
So
like Korean Zombie?
yeah, not the zombie. I don't know if the zombie did or not, but all South Korean men,
No, the Zombie did too.
yeah, they all have to serve in the military. It's mandatory. So when he came back, I think he lost, but he's still a heck of a fighter, and I hope he gets back on track because he's got a great style. And then he's fighting Kyle Nelson. Give me some feedback.
Okay. Du Hui Choi is 31. He's 14-4, 205. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. Charles Jourdain, Jeremy Stevens, Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson is the fight of the night, and he got into the Hall of Fame already because of that fight. So he's on a 3-year break. Good thing you told me. Yeah, that was probably because of the military. He's super fast. He has precision with his punches. Kyle Nelson's 31, 13-5, 1-5. He's 2 losses, 1 win, 2 losses. He has straight punches to kicks, knees down the middle, and a great soccer kick knee. So he has like this, almost like he's going to do a soccer kick, but then he pulls his leg in and just knees these people. This is going to be very interesting because Superboy, I think that was his name, Dung Hoi Choi, is very fast. They're very fast, and I think someone's going to get it knocked out real quick in this fight because they like to slug. I'm going to go with because I'm going to go with, man, I wish I had a quarter now. I'm going to go with Superboy.
I am too.
You are? We're agreeing. That doesn't go well usually. We've been losing together lately.
All right. Next up, we have
Okay,
Marcin Tybura versus Blagoy Ivanov.
So Tiberius is 37, 23-7, 4-5. Jackson Winklejohn Sambo, last win. He has great head kicks, nice takedowns, and grounds and pounds. And then you saw him at, what would you say, Whole Foods? He was stocking up on the superfoods.
Yeah.
Blagoy Ivanov is 36, 19-4, 3-5, last win. He has 7 decisions in a row, but he's very like, I don't know if they're gonna grapple in this because I watched the fight against Derek Lewis, and even though Derek Lewis beat him by decision, he just went at Derek Lewis. He just like went. Derek Lewis would push him away, he'd grab his leg, grab his foot, just start dragging him. He's like, I'm gonna get you to the ground. So this guy, I just wish he'd be a little more aggressive with his punches. Yeah, I mean he punches, but he's more like tentative. And I think Marcin Tiburiya, I mean, they're trying to build that camp back in Jackson Winklejohn. They're trying to get new fighters because everybody left, you know. So they're trying to rebuild, and I think they're trying to get a new camp, and they're working on what was not working for their fighters before. So I'm gonna go with Tiberia. I think he's more aggressive. He has greater punches.
And I'm in agreement with you on that one. He is more aggressive, and if he smells blood, he just goes. He goes and goes. He doesn't give you a break. He'll just smother you like a wet blanket. And Blagoy, that dude has some powerful punches. Both of them do, but I think Blagoy hits harder. But Marcin is more aggressive, and he throws punches in bunches, and that usually gets him the win. He's fighting a lot, if you've noticed, Marcin. So if you're in the heavyweight division, guys, you can fight a lot because there's not a huge stable to choose from. So if you want to make some money, take it from a couch, couch quarterback. Keep getting in heavyweight and keep fighting, man, because of Marcin, he's fighting a lot. And good for him.
Yeah, he's ranked 10th right now, and he could easily he could easily be in the top 5 if he had a fight, because there's not a lot of heavyweights that are wanting to fight. So he's fighting. He's the new dance partner with everybody, and he's going to slowly get himself back into the top 5.
Yep, I'm with you. Okay, next up we have Daeun Jung versus Devin Clark. What you got here?
Okay, Daeun Young is 39 or 29. Sorry, 15-3. He's 3-1-1. Last loss, Justin Jacoby. Devin Clark is 32, 13-7, 205 Jackson Winklejohn. He has the last loss to. He's fought Anthony Smith, Ian Kudalaba. He pressures, nice movement, nice knees. He swings with his head down, which I don't like. And Daeun Young, he pulls, then jabs, straight punches, and he likes to go over and under with his punches. So he does a lot of this pawing bow punch, and then he'll go over, under, and then he comes in under, over. He's very, like, I don't know what style I would say, but I think he's gonna kind of bring the fight. The other guy hits very hard, but I just, like I said, I don't like that he swings for the fences, but he leaves his head down, and that's going to be, if the other guy can see that, he's just going to come with an uppercut, or he's going to, What do you think about this fight?
I think Devin Clark. I like Devin Clark, but I think he's a lot slower than his opponents. He throws powerful punches. You're right, but he wings a lot of them. They're coming, some hooks, and he's the type of dude that if he gets you hurt, he goes in for it. He doesn't stay back and hit. And sometimes he gets a little overzealous. He thinks the guy's more hurt than he is, and he goes in with that head down, and he gets caught.
Yeah,
because he wants to try to get the double leg or get those hips and lock his hands, and get the dude on the ground for some ground and pound. But he's just, in my opinion, he's just a little bit slower. So I'm picking Jung to win this fight. And I think also Clark, he tends, I don't know if his gas tank is as good, in the third round. He's pretty good in the first round, part of the second, but he seems to get a little bit slower as the fight goes on. But as you can tell, he's got a lot of muscle on his body, so that's a lot to carry around, a lot of oxygen it's requiring. So I'm going to pick Jung on this one.
Okay. So now we're on to the main event. This is very interesting.
Yep. Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. Now, there's all kinds of chatter going on about Derek Lewis and not much about Spivak. So all eyes
Mm,
are on Lewis because, first of all, when I saw the press conference, he had an attitude, man, because he was a little
yeah.
upset of what Daniel Cormier said about him. And he didn't like that, you know. And he said he'll never be a champion.
What did he say again?
Yeah, he said he'll never be a champion. He's, he'll probably fight the top five, but he'll never be in that realm, even if he beats Spivak. And it was pretty funny because Derek Lewis came back and said in that press conference, he's got too much cholesterol. F him.
He's not very happy. He's never been a big fan of DC.
But
I mean, he does not.
he is, you know, they're giving him a lot of main card events because he does bring eyes. But in my opinion, he's got to win this fight. He just has to win this fight because even though I don't think he'll retire after this if he loses, but you won't see him in a main event again unless it's a real no-name card. But he's got, in my opinion, he's got to win this fight and he's got to do it in spectacular fashion. However, he's up against Spivak.
Yeah.
And Spivak is a monster. I don't like this matchup for Lewis, man. Because Spivak, he's a monster, he's a machine, and this dude doesn't, and he moves forward. And we all see what happens with Lewis when he gets against the fence, man. If his back is towards the fence, it doesn't usually end well for him. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go over the stats real quick, and then I'm gonna tell you. So Derek Lewis, he's ranked 7th right now. He's still in the ranking. Sergey's 12. Sergey's trying to get into 8. And then Derek Lewis is 26-10, 3 of 5. He's from Main Street MMA. 2 losses to Sergey Plavlov, Tai Tuivasa, and Cyril Gahn. Cyril Gahn was, he had a win in between Cyril Gahn and Tai Tuivasa. Now Sergey is 28. He's 15-3, 4 of 5. He has 2 wins. Greg Hardy. He has great wrestling. He likes to pressure. He has a great judo toss. And like you said, this is gonna have to be. They were saying all this stuff about Derek being really slim, and like he lost a bunch of weight. He could make welterweight, or not welterweight. What was it, middleweight or something? But it's all the way they took the picture. I mean, he does not. He looks slimmer because I think he lost weight because of COVID, but I don't. He's still a big guy.
He's still a big guy.
And Sergey's gonna go in. He is. I mean, he says he's still got a cut. So I mean, he's definitely not down to middleweight. If he's got to cut 265, there's people that cut in that heavyweight, and there's people that don't. So I think Sergey's gonna hit him, pressure him, and he's gonna take him down and try to make him get back up. And that's not what Derek Lewis wants. Derek Lewis says he's undefeated in the the UFC. What is it, the IPEX or whatever? But I just don't know. I don't like this matchup because he's gonna go in there and he's got to knock him out really quick because I think Sergey's gonna put all his pressure on him. He's gonna take him down, and then he's gonna hit him. And like you said, Derek Lewis used to bite down on the mouthpiece. He doesn't bite down on the mouthpiece anymore. He kind of turtles up, and he kind of wants to get out of there. And I'm going to go with Sergey. I don't want to. I like Derek Lewis, but I think DC might be right. He's not championship material. He would have to get the best matchup. The best matchup was Cyril Gahn, and he couldn't beat him.
No, that was that was as bad as that was as lopsided as Gahn versus Tuivasa. It was just a one-sided beatdown. There was no competition there. Now Spivak, yeah. So if he beats Derek Lewis, shouldn't he pop into the top 7? If Lewis is at 7 right now?
Yeah, I would imagine. Well, he's ranked, yeah, seventh. He should be kind of. Let's see. I don't know if he's already fought Tai Tuivasa, but that would be like Tai Tuivasa. Um, what's some of the other names like Sergey Pavlov? Um, Shiragan already has a dance partner. You
Mhm.
know, Stipe says he's waiting for the winner of that. So,
So Spivak, I like his fighting style. I haven't seen him gas. I've
mhm.
never seen him get tired. Not that I don't know how many of his fights go to decision or not, but I've never seen him get gassed. And I think this is a bad fight for Derek Lewis. I think this might be his swan song of putting him, back on the prelim cards. Um, but again, I don't know how many eyeballs he brings. I know that he brings a lot. And whenever they put him in Texas, he loses. So this may be, his good luck charm fighting at the Apex instead of in
Oh, you
Texas.
think so?
Maybe.
Yeah, he
He's
said
got
he was undefeated in Texas, but what was it? Whatever ref is the reason he lost. And I remember, I mean, I don't know. I remember him getting knocked out in Texas. I don't remember the ref.
yeah. But I think Derek Lewis only has one way to win, and that's the uppercut. And if Spivak thinks that too, he's going to do everything to not get uppercutted. But he'll be able to take Derek Lewis down. Derek Lewis has to keep him at distance. He's got to stay off the cage. And once he gets his back to the cage, man, that's going to be it because Spivak will take him down, and
And
Derek Lewis
and
will turtle up, and he's not going to fight out of it because Spivak, when he gets you down, dude, that's a lot of weight to hold, and he knows how to grapple, and
yeah,
he's not letting you back up.
very grappler. And he does that double leg. You don't see a lot of heavyweights do double leg. When he picks up both of those legs, those heavyweights are like I haven't been picked up since I was a baby. You know what I mean? They get slammed right on their head, and that's another thing. You like smaller guys that get picked up and slammed. It's not that much weight. You have your weight. You have his weight. That's like 400 pounds of pressure slamming you to the ground. It's not good.
Well, we've got just a few minutes left, Nando, and I do want to talk about a UFC 284 because that's going to be a gigantic monster card. I know you're super excited about it, but and the card is stacked, my friends. It is stacked, and they are having that in Perth, Australia. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to be fighting in the morning, I'm pretty sure. So that's going to change things up a little bit as well.
Oh, the other thing I want to say about this fight, though, so you guys remember, the prelims start at 8 o'clock our time. So the main event's at 11 o'clock at night. So I'll be able to watch it. I mean, it's gonna be until like 2 in the morning. I'll be watching it. It'll be like old Pride days. It doesn't start until 11 o'clock, and they said something about that, and I was like, "What?" Like he was like, "Are you ready to fight at 1 o'clock at night?" I was like, "1 o'clock." I was looking at my phone. I was like, "Oh man, okay."
Well, we're not going to mention the fights yet because that's going to be for next week. But I do just want to call your attention to it because that could potentially be the card of the year. I know it's early in the year and there's a lot of cards going on, but man, the matchups are excellent. Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard and Dana White did a good job on these matchups. They're going to be super competitive and a lot of action, I think. So that's going to be awesome. And on February 12th, we have rescheduled for a Krav Maga visit, and that's coming up. So I just wanted to remind you guys about that. And I think Nando are you getting more nervous or less nervous, Nando?
I'm kidding. I'm just do whatever we can do for the show. I hope these ladies are nice to me. I hope these people don't hurt me. But I do want to see how effective it is. You know what I mean? If they go in there and they say, walk towards this person, I'm gonna walk this person because I really want to see how effective it is, and I want to see because he was not kind of vague, but I want to understand more about their system and what goes into what, and and it is a self-defense system. Do you know what I mean? So it's not necessarily you're going to stand there and fight. You're trying to get loose, and you're trying to get out, and you're trying to inflict damage so that the person doesn't chase you, which
Well,
I think is really cool.
and I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up with a couple of new students. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I'll see how much Nando can take before I sign on the dotted line. No, it should be
Yeah.
really good. And Nando, I think I showed the viewers last, so I'm working with some equipment that will get us really in there with the grappling and stuff that I can move the camera around to get some good shots, to get a better feel rather than just a single from one angle. So the plan is to get a little creative and do some fun stuff in there. And we got a whole bunch of questions to ask these guys. We have been planning this for a while, and we've met with the guys, Clifton and Dante from Fortified Krav Maga, and these guys are so excited about it. They're ready with their students and other instructors to give us everything that they have. Because they want a great podcast, and I think this is probably going to be one of the best. Again, that is February 12th, and I'll post that above so you guys can mark that down to check it out. But it's going to be pretty awesome, lots of fun, and I'm stoked about it. Anyway, that's all we have for you guys today. Nando, do you have any parting words for the viewers?
This is going to be a great fight card. I'm very interested in this Ultimate Fighter. Who does Connor fight as a coach? You know what I mean? I'm saying Michael Chandler, please, but they're saying Tony Ferguson, and I don't see that as a good idea. I see it as a fight that Connor can win, but
I'm hoping Chandler too, because Tony Ferguson, it'll just be crazy. I think you'll have two more better banter during the show with Chandler and Connor. So we'll see that, but it'll be interesting. It'll bring some eyeballs, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, you guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and get ready for our next podcast. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Knuckle Sandwich MMA. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.
Yeah.